I guess I'll go ahead and do the rest. You know what gets you good grades though? Remembering things that the teacher thought you forgot and just like pulling it out randomly. Like I could turn in like a piece of paper that I like crapped on and drug through the mud and give it to my English teacher and he'd be like, "What is this abomination?" It's my essay. But remember that time you said you liked Aerosmith? You remember? I'll have to give you an A+ and some candy and my daughter's hand in marriage. So since it worked so well in that little hypothetical conversation, I'm going to go ahead and try it, like for real. Hey, Ms. Forbes, I remembered something. Remember when we were like learning how to do stand-up? And you were like, oh, you should pick up stand-up posture. So I decided to pick a stand-up posture.
Okay.
And here it is. So
John Merritt, I like it.
Oh, you remember?
That's amazing. A+.
Sandwiches and Malaport. It was a cinema of Rome. Yeah. Probably didn't hear that last bit because someone in the audience said something. I said Rome. So that's the transition. Okay. Rome really isn't like as different like to now as we think, because they were a republic. We're a republic. They had the best army in the world. Ours is pretty good. Lots of Romans were gay and bisexual. Lots of Californians. Well, we all know California. And they watched people die in the arena. We watch people die on TV. But the biggest difference that makes Rome better than us is the tunic. We should definitely bring that back. Because it has all the comfort of a dress with the manliness of a kilt. Let's imagine a world in which everyone wears tunics. There's no war, no hunger, no political or religious freedom. Anyway, and the Senate was the best, most efficient government of the time period, and it must have been the tunics. And go ahead and hit it, Will. Don't argue. Look much better in tunics anyway. That's not Photoshop, I promise.
I like Castro.
Okay, the stand-up posture is killing me. Forget the stand-up posture thing, because that hurts. Anyone ever hear of Urban Dictionary?
Yeah.
You ever look up your name?
Yeah.
They're always so right, man! They're so right! And then you look at it and realize that they're so broad that they could be right about, like, everyone. So, like, James. James is a guy who is really nice, and he likes girls, and sometimes they like him back, and his hair is brown, or maybe black or blonde, or maybe even ginger, and he's generally known to have 2 legs and a head. And he has friends usually. That's so me, man. They're so me. And to prove that they are always right, always, I printed off a couple of mine. An extremely nice guy. Pure awesomeness. These are real. Pure awesomeness. The sexiest man alive. And a beverage consisting of 3/4 iced tea and 1/4 lemonade. The last one was a little off. Whatever. So, I totally couldn't come up with a transition for this part. So, last night when I was writing this, I spent like 10 minutes just staring at the wall, trying to figure out a transition for this part, and in the end I couldn't, so I'll just do this. Segway! So that was the segue. Guys, you ever heard of like throwbacks? Like, oh, remember that time I couldn't come up with a transition, so I just like rolled around on the floor like an idiot? Yeah, you were there. Throwback. So I'm gonna do a throw forward. Apples. Segway! And since this has never, ever, ever been done before by any other stand-up comedian in the world, I looked up some animal facts. Because we all know that that's really original, right? I wouldn't Okay, so I went on Google and I literally typed in animal facts and like clicked on the third link or whatever because I never picked the first one. And I don't know why. And I promise these are all, well, they're not true, but they're from the website. Like I didn't make any of these up. So I'm going to read you some. An antlion is neither an ant nor a lion. Thank you. Elephants and camels both have 4 knees. Well, they have 4 legs. Okay, like what reaction were you expecting from those? Like who took the time to put that on the internet thinking it would blow someone's mind or something? Like, it's common sense.
Yeah.
They have 4 legs, 4 knees. 1-ton lion. Other things. They're not related. Okay, next one. This one is actually really scary because remember it said animal facts like on top of the website, so I don't know what they were. Chia pets are only sold in December. That is neither a fact nor does it have anything to do with animals. So that's like a double fail. I actually had Eli look up the Chia Pet website for me, and they're sold year round. So thanks, Eli. The next one, orcas kill sharks by torpedoing into the shark's stomach from below, causing the shark to explode.
Oh my.
They explode. Next. I have nothing more to say. Human birth control pills work on gorillas. How did you find that out? Like, I want to think of the guy who found that out and thought it was so important that he had to put it on the internet so that no one else had that same morning after scare as him. Unfortunately, he forgot to mention that the birth control pills don't protect from AIDS or other STDs, so now half the viewers of this website are now very ill.
Oh my gosh.
And the last one, the finger, and this one actually might be true, so, but don't tell this to your, anyway. The fingerprints of koala bears are virtually indistinguishable from those of humans. So much so that they might be confused at a crime scene. That seems like dangerous information to be putting on the internet. Next thing we know, like, criminals are just going to unleash like 80 koala bears on a crime scene. It's like, touch everything you want, little friends. Go! Touch! You can have all the eucalyptus leaves your heart desires. Your little beady braid. Hey, it's not beady, mate. You know, because they're Australian. That would really confuse the police. Definitely. But you have to treat them really nicely, because if you don't, koala bears are smart, so get their fingerprints surgically altered to match yours. So next time you're like telling them to touch things at a crime scene, they're like, "Yeah, you laugh it up, mate. You'll get done." And so the guy gets arrested, and the police ask him how he managed to get thousands of fingerprints all over the crime scene. But once a koala bear, once it gets a taste of crime, it can never leave. The life of crime for a koala bear. Do it, Will! Push the button! That one's real too. That's a money bag. The comparoo. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and tell a joke now, because none of those weren't jokes. Those were truths. So here's my first joke, but I'll need some audience participation. When I ask the question, you all say, "I don't know, what?" Okay, do it right now. Practice.
I don't know. What?
Okay. What's worse than biting into an apple and finding a worm?
I don't know. What?
Biting into an apple and finding half a worm. Okay. That's not it. What's worse than biting into an apple and finding half a worm?
I don't know. What?
Nuclear warfare. Really. Get rid of those missiles.
The hell, Jonathan? You should have kept it. Jonathan, you should have